I'll try to reconnect from other device.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, now it works better. Is it okay now? Isa, I don't hear.
Yeah, the background looks great. We were hoping, is it possible to use the webinar's poster as your backdrop?
Yeah, sure, yeah, sorry.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I will download it now.
Thank you.
Okay, now it's good, right?
Looks great. Thanks, Alec.
Yes, 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 yes.
Good evening, everyone, and of course, a very good morning and Dobry den to our fellow Russians. On behalf of the Russian-Malaysian High-Tech Center, I'd like to welcome everyone to our webinar today, Fly High with the Russian Champions in Drone Tech. My name is Abdurrahim, and I'll be your host this evening. It's so great to see so many of you today. We have participants from various organizations and industries. And as I'm aware, we've also got a couple of you from overseas. We have India and Singapore as well. So thank you all for taking the time to join us. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank MDEC and DRZ Iskandar for supporting this event. And of course, to our distinguished speakers today, our Russian companies, thank you and welcome everyone. So without further ado, I know we have a lot to get through today. So I would like to now welcome Dato' Lu Tukji, the chairman of Russia-Malaysia High-Tech Center, for the welcome address. Welcome, Dato' Lu.
Thank you very much, Isa. A very good day to all our speakers and participants. Welcome to the webinar on Fly High with the Russia Champions in Drone Technology that has been brought to you by the Russia-Malaysia High-Tech Center. Ladies and gentlemen, together with us today is our special guest, Mr. Nikita Ponomarenko, the head of the Russia Trade Representative Office in Malaysia. And I would also like to welcome Dr. Alexei, how are you, from Russia? Ladies and gentlemen, As Ms. Iza had mentioned to all of you just now, we have our special guests from Singapore and India who are also participating in this webinar. So thank you very much to our representatives from Malaysia, from Singapore and India. Ladies and gentlemen, the companies that have participated at this webinar cover various industries ranging from companies that are involved in aviation, technologies, marine, construction, highways to universities and training centers. Whether we call them unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, or flying mini robots, drones are indeed rapidly growing in popularity around the world. While still in the infancy stage in terms of mass adoption and usage, drones have already broken through rigid traditional barriers in industries which would otherwise seem impenetrable by similar technological innovations. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are indeed honored to have with us here at this webinar some of the leading Russian national champion companies who are specialized in unmanned aerial vehicles or drones, and they're very much involved in activities such as research and development, manufacturing, programming, and other innovative activities. Today, we are very happy to have with us 4 speakers from Russia, and they represent the following companies. Rada MMS, we have with us Mr. Sivaev Efnergy, the head of sales department of Rada MMS. We have also with us Mr. Oleg Gorbanov, the head of international department of Geoscan. Geoscan is also one leading company involved in UAV or drone technology. Our third speaker would be Mr. Oleg Ponfilnok, the CEO of Copter Express. Welcome, Mr. Oleg. And the fourth speaker would be Mr. Nikolai Manzenkov, head of international affairs of Unmanned Systems Technology Group of Russia. Once again, welcome everyone to the Russia-Malaysia High-Tech Center, and we wish you a fruitful webinar on Fly High with the Russian champions in drone technology. Ladies and gentlemen, as per our agenda, we will now proceed to invite the speaker from Geoscan. I'll pass you back to Iza now. Iza, thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Lu. Before we head to our presentations, we have our lovely CEO of RMHTC, Ms. Karina Ong. She'll give you a little bit of introduction about what RMHTC is all about. So over to you, Karina.
Hi, everybody. I'm just going to share a screen. Let me know if you can see them well. Can you see them?
All good. Good, Karina.
Yep. So good afternoon and good morning to everybody. Mr. Ponomarenko, Mr. Farhan and team from DRZ Iskandar, colleagues from MDEC, our speakers and all participants. I'm Karina. I'll be giving you a brief overview about our Russia-Malaysia High-Tech Center. So RMHTC was established recently, and it's actually a private initiative and is supported by Technological Sovereign Export Association assets and Russia Trade Representative Office in Malaysia. So ASET is a non-profit organization that represents leading Russia high technology companies in critical infrastructure and information technology sector. And Russia Trade Representative Office in Malaysia, headed by Mr. Nikita Ponomarenko, is a government agency that focuses on Russia-Malaysia business collaboration. So in RMHTC, our vision is to be the hub for Russia high tech in ASEAN, and we are the accelerator for Russia-Malaysia collaboration in entrepreneurship and education, using Malaysia as a springboard to expand to the rest of ASEAN. So in RMHTC, we will be the reach to all our Russia high growth innovation solution, ranging from supercomputer, ICT and cybersecurity, shipping, aerospace, transportation, AI system, and many more, as you can see from the screen. RMHTC focus, in RMHTC, we focus, the focus generally come from the IR 4.0, which is currently being very active in Malaysia. And we have selected a few key topics, such as green technology, telecommunication, cybersecurity, 3D printing, medical tech, mobility, and robotics. So in RMHTC, we have also set up the Center of Excellence for Cybersecurity Technology, working along with some of our partners like Cybersecurity Malaysia, Bizone, Trusted Access, to promote some of the product and services in this area, on the cybersecurity area. And we have actually organized some cybersecurity events, such as a conference on cybersecurity and Cyber Polygon together with our Russia counterpart back in 2019 and 2020. And for collaboration in Malaysia, we have academic collaboration as well as networking accelerator program, where university and private companies are both involved. So some of our services for our foreign partners, we actually aim to provide the platform and services for our members to have consistent dialogue, discussion, and maximum exposure with the Malaysian technology industry expert and professionals to build effective connection and relationship. We actually offer some of this, all of these services, including the virtual office, where you can actually register your address with, use our address to register your business in Malaysia. We provide a pitching session, presentation, webinar, and forums. We have space for advertisement and display, where you can have your product display in Malaysia. And we have this business lounge, where we can have meetings and business social, and private rooms that works like a co-working space while you're in Malaysia. So some of these services will be provided out from RMHTC. So in 2021, we have planned for a few forum or webinar session, which I'm just flashing out so that you can feel free to explore and join us to explore some of these untapped Russian technologies. Just to also share with you that we actually have quite a few of collaborating partners that we are currently working with, from universities to Russian company and some private companies. So that's about it. A quick one on Russia-Malaysia High Tech Center, which will be based in Cyberjaya in this year. And do contact us if you have any inquiry or any interest on some of these Russia high technologies. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karina, for that presentation. Now to give a bit of an overview, insight on Malaysia's drone ecosystem, we have the experts for this subject matter. We have Mr. Farhan. He is the Vice President of IIB Ventures and the Drones and Robotics Zone Iskandar. So, Mr. Farhan, welcome. Over to you. Farhan, sorry, we can't seem to hear you.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah, all good. Okay, thanks.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, no worries.
Hi everyone. Again, thank you so much, RMHTC team, Karina, Iza, and everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Farhan from IIB Ventures, and I'm currently located in the southern states of Malaysia called Johor. We are like 30 minutes away from Singapore. So one of the reasons why we are building this drone and robotics zone in Iskandar, Malaysia, which is half an hour across the Straits of Johor in Singapore, is trying to attract all the regional drone and robotics companies to come and integrate their technology, which we want to help promote in a sandbox location in this DRZ area that we are building. I'm going to share with you briefly what we've been doing for the past 2 years in terms of the drone technology ecosystem in Malaysia. Let me know if you can see this. Can you see this?
Yeah, good.
Good. So for everyone's information, I previously worked together with my counterparts in MDEC, the Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation. So this drone technology ecosystem is not something that I'm doing alone. So this is something that the Malaysian government, the agencies, and I'm now with a private organization. This is something that we feel that Malaysia is currently, we have this edge, where as you can see here, there are all these technology companies, services companies, as in the drone ecosystem. So if you can see on the top right here, so based on drone industry insights, we are working closely with them as well. So we had them, we get them to provide a market report for Malaysia, and based on their estimation, so Malaysia drone industry market is estimated to reach $384 million by 2025. And I think this is something that is really, really achievable. So as you can see, currently in Malaysia, we are 30 million people. So there are over 60,000 units of drones estimated to be registered in Malaysia. And this is just the hobbyist drones alone, not counting the commercial drones. And we are estimating to train over 3,500 packs for this year alone in drone related trainings. And we are estimating to create these 5,000 jobs in drone in the drone industry. So this can be achieved at this point of time because the industry in Malaysia, from the demand side, there are currently a growth in the demand for drone services. So as you can see here, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar. So this company called Aerodyne, it is currently ranked #2 in drone industry insights ranking. So they are based in Malaysia, and they are currently they have over 400 people that is in Malaysia working in various industries across 34 countries globally. And in Malaysia alone, I think they are in over various industries. For example, they are in energy sector, telecommunication, and they are now estimating to go into the agriculture and plantation sector, and planning to hire over 1,000 drone pilots to serve this specific plantation and agriculture industries. So if you can see here, in this I don't want to talk much about the other verticals. So in Malaysia at this point of time, you can see here, there are a lot of drone services companies. And we do have these product development companies, but we are still lacking in that part. So I think if you are a drone product companies from Russia, I think this is where we can help you connect with these various drone companies here to see how they can work together with you as a technology partner to use your technology and solutions to provide services to the end users here, not just in Malaysia, but in the region as well. And in terms of collaboration, I think if you can see here, we've been working together with various organizations to get their support in terms of ecosystem, in terms of academic and training institutions, and even from the regulatory side as well. And I'll be talking about that in a little bit. All right. Later, if you have any question, you can just ask. All right, for the program that we are building specific in the drone and robotic zone in Iskandar, so these are the key elements that we are building, focusing in Johor to represent Malaysia and also getting everyone in ASEAN to come together. Because in the whole of ASEAN at this point of time, there is no single location or entity or community that gathers all the drone ecosystem players. So this is what we are positioning ourselves as. So you can see here we have the actual test sites for people to come in and test their drones, and we have areas to test their robotics applications as well. But at the same time, we have actual physical space for people to come in, to design. We have maker labs, we have assembly and distribution space for you to build. And we have programs, we have incubation programs, commercialization programs, talent partners, events that we're planning to do, as well as bringing in partners for policy, regulation, as well as improvement. Of course, for your information, I will share in a bit, a program that we are working together with our regulatory as well as agency partners to solve certain challenges in operating UAVs in Malaysia. All right. So just an overview of the place that we have here in the drone and robotic zone Iskandar. So as I mentioned earlier, we are very close to Singapore. So this Iskandar Putri is where we are based in. So in the vicinity, we have our talent development partners. We have this place where we can do drones and robotics event and test space in a controlled environment. So we have an open space to test your drone R&D, and we have a closed facility to test your drones in a closed environment as well. And for your information, if you want to come and test your R&D drones and to do, if you have any specific drone applications in these specific verticals, I think this is something that I think our local companies would like to work together with you. So if you have solutions that is focused on security and surveillance, smart agriculture, delivery and logistics, and defect inspection for infrastructure and highway inspection, for example. So this is a national program by the government of Malaysia. It's called the National Technology and Innovation Sandbox. And DRZ Iskandar is one of the partner where we host companies that has drones and robotics solutions to test their solutions here at our place. And at the same time, what NTIS does is, together with our partners like Magic, Futurize, MTDC, so local companies who has technology partners who like to test their solutions, they will be able to get a certain amount of funding to be able to do that proof of concept or pilots. And if their solutions requires a regulatory intervention, this is where the agencies will come in to assist as well. All right. And I think as all of you are aware, the UAV is part of the aerospace and aviation industry. And I think there are challenges globally in how drone operators are operating in various regions. So in Malaysia as well, I think we do have those challenges at this point of time. So for example, in Malaysia, to operate a drone, you have to go through these 5 or 4 different agencies and regulators. The main ones would be the Civil Aviation Authority. However, for the past 2 years, we have on the industry side, we have been representing the industry to engage with all these regulators, and they have been very, very progressive at this point of time. So prior to this, we have no proper framework for us to work together with the regulators. But at this point of time, recently, I think this is just released 2 weeks ago, new Civil Aviation Directive has been announced, where we now have a better idea on how the Malaysian operators as well as the regulators can understand each other, and how can the industry work together with the regulators to ensure what are the kind of standards and safety requirements that you need to have before you can operate in certain commercial environment. You know, for example, now we have this remote pilot training organization requirements, and we have this Civil Aviation Directive specific for agricultural UAS operation, and this CAD 6011 for special UAS project is specific for those who are planning to have extended visual line of sight or BVLOS operations. So these requirements are now being set. It is already there. So if you would like to do that with your local partner, there are certain requirements that you will need to meet. So I think for now, it is currently being implemented. However, within the next 12 to 24 months, there are some leeways, you know, because this is a fairly new regulatory framework that has been announced. However, for those who are already in operations, I think we can work together with the regulators to say that if there are urgent requirements, we can engage the regulators to get some approvals from them, even if you can't meet the immediate requirements that have been set at this point of time. For example, on this agricultural UAS operations. So in Malaysia right now, there are thousands of drones being operated across the country in paddy fields, in the palm oil plantation. So most of them doesn't have those permits yet to meet all these civil aviation directives. However, because of the immediate requirement by the end user, so the Civil Aviation Authority are asking the operators to ensure that the operations are within the limits of operations, which I'm gonna share in a bit. Okay, so I think most of the civil aviation rules around the world is something similar as this as well. So in Malaysia as well, this is directly from our Civil Aviation Authority deck. So later, maybe I can share as well this deck, as well as the link for you to refer to the current UAS regulation set by our Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia. I'll share that with Izzah so that you can have a look at it as well. So these are the standards UAS regulations. So for those who operates below 20 kilos, and for those who are not doing or using UAS or drones for commercial purposes, you are not allowed. It's okay for you not to apply permits at this point of time. However, you have to abide by these rules given here. Okay, so I'm not gonna go deeper on this one. However, I'm gonna leave this deck with Izzah later to be shared with everyone. So if you are planning to come to Malaysia to do certain testings, so for sandbox approval method, these are the requirements that is required by the Civil Aviation Authority. And as a sandbox, the drone and robotic sandbox operator in DRZ Iskandar, we will require you to be able to meet these requirements as well. So you have to have your SORA, your unmanned traffic management systems, your ERPs, and designated airspace is something that we will be providing. So later, if you are planning to come and operate in Malaysia, we will be able to advise you what are the requirements in details later. All right, so I'm gonna stop there. So later, if you have any other questions, you can refer to the link here, or I'm gonna share my personal email in the chat box later, so you can get in touch with me as well. All right, I think that's all from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Farhan. I'm sure that was very insightful for both parties, our local audience, as well as the Russian companies. So ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to our most awaited part of our event, the presentations from our Russian drone companies. We have Geoscan, Unmanned Systems Group, Copter Express, and Radar MMS. So each company will be presenting and showcasing their products and services. Before we begin, as you all are aware, we will have a breakout room session after the presentation. So due to the overwhelming response, we've had to organize the breakout sessions a little bit differently. It'll be more like a focus group session. So there will be 4 rooms, 1 room for each of the drone company. And at the end of the presentation, you will be able to choose which room you will like to select. And this will be the session where you'll have all your questions answered, all your thoughts and discussions will be during this session. So without further ado, now let's get started. Please welcome our first Russian company, Geoscan, Mr. Govanov Oleg Arkadievich, the head of International Partnership Development in Group of Companies, Geoscan. Please, Mr. Oleg, welcome.
Hello, dear colleagues. Do you hear me well and see?
Very well.
Nice. Thank you. First of all, I want to greet everybody in such an interesting and great event. Mr. Nikita Ponomarenko, the Russian representative, and other participants. I'm very thankful for taking part in this interesting event in UAV sector. The Geoscan is the company who representing self-made solution in the unmanned aerial vehicles, and also we are providing the software. Now you should see the presentation. Is it okay? So I hope you see it well, and then we can start. And first of all, of course, I want to say that unmanned aerial vehicles now are using in many types of sector. And today I will show some cases regarding the construction, because it's one of the hugest and interesting sector at the moment. But in the same time, it shows us how useful could be collaborative information and reporting regarding geoinformational systems. So the sectors where we're now is very useful technology are the agriculture, mining, construction and developing of the roads and cities. It's an energy sector. Of course, we can do very high resolution data. So we are using our technology in such spheres as DRZ, gas and oil sector, environment, and many other sectors as education, etc., and also entertainment. So our technology is based on 3 steps. First of all, it's technology of creating UAVs. We have 2 types of the UAVs, aircraft and multi-rotor as quadricopter, with many kinds of payloads. It could be photo, infrared, multispectral leader, or some special payload as a magnetometer to the development in natural resources. Second step, we are using the software to do the post-processing of our received data from the UAV. So we are using our software Metashape to do the post-processing and receive the many type of data. Then we are uploading it on our geoinformational system and do many kinds of measurements. We can measure every parameter as it's very realistic 3D model, we can receive many types of parameters. So, and the third step, and as a result, we are receiving the many types of report. So we can understand volumes, we can understand progress, we can understand many type of information that we need in our business and our economic sector. So analytic is the main focus thing, on what we are based our technology. So a little more words about our fleet. As I mentioned before, we are creating fixed-wing drones and multi-rollers. So first of all, of course, it's our fixed-wing drones, just Can 101 and 201. It's almost autonomous flying drones. So it's integrated with high-resolution cameras, professional geodetic and GNSS receivers, and can fly up to 3 hours with covering 22 square kilometers per one flight. It's flying on electric engines and flying absolutely autonomous and landing with parachutes. So that's very useful technology for do surveying in the long time flying area, like roads, like I don't know, in agriculture, or when we must have huge territories like cities or stuff. So, and if we need to do precise surveying regarding some special high-rise inspection or some another construction, we should use the multi-rotor. Here we have our prime multi-rotor solution, just Can 401 geodesy. It could be integrated with many types of payload. Here you can see the high-resolution camera, and it's also integrated with GNSS receiver and can fly up to 1 hour. And takeoff weight is 9.5 kilograms. So with help of this type of UAV, you can do precise monitoring of the open pits and mines, so the high rises, and you can work in a different complex situation in the city with high rises, with high structure, etc. So a few words about our software. The Agisoft Metashape is our created software. With help of what you can automatically do post-processing after the surveying. You're uploading the information, and Agisoft Metashape creating automatically a different type of the data, like structure 3D model, clouds of points for engineering purposes, and also you can do high resolution orthophoto images, and of course digital elevation and digital terrain model. Here you can receive such kind of information, and then you can upload it to your system. It could be GeoPortal, or it could be your geoinformational system local, or you could use it on your platform to do some kinds of the reports, measurements, and monitoring, and many other purposes. So going there, there's a few features that you can realize with our software. I will not go deeper. So what I want to represent more, that it's our collaborative platform that help us to receive the information from the data that we are seeing from the UAV, and then we are creating the special data, and then we are putting it on the platform that could be online, or it could be integrated in your system if it's close chain, so you can integrate it inside. So how does it works? So we collaborate different type of information. We can collaborate satellite images, UAV surveying, and classical geodetic surveying like LIDARs or another technique. We collaborated on one platform, information platform that named Skyr, and then we are doing measurements, predictive analytics, expert analytics, and then we can upload it to our purposes in our businesses and do some different types of the works. So here's the slide that shows how it works. On the high resolution images, you can, with our tools, you can choose the different type of information and understand how it works. So you can receive the distance, you can receive the volumes, you can receive the areas or heights, every parameter that you can measure in real life, you can measure here. So what is giving Sky for the our clients. So that is monitoring on the job progress. Of course, as I mentioned before, the measurements gives you realistic information about what is doing now on your area, on your project, etc. So you can track construction in time or in a different type of the information that you need. It's height of the structure or another parameters. Obtain road network analytic to optimize the machine traffic and other tools. Next thing that you can receive that is new land survey approach. So you can get high resolution information of the survey in the nearest 24 hours. If you have the drones, you can do it very high on high speed. So you can determine all the changes automatically. You can develop effective execution storages based on mathematical calculation that is doing automatically by platform and other things. And of course, it's collaboration of different types of your departments. So you can use that platform even from the office or from the field. So that is very useful. That how can we collaborate the engineering information and orthophoto images, that images with high resolution, and understand that everything is going well to control the construction or control any process that's going on in the area by collaborating. Here are the examples as we can compare different time surveying, and we can track it by using our platform. So that gives us opportunity to do analytic in a time, and that's very useful for understand how fast we go by the graphics or what we must do faster, what we must do in time. So that is very useful. And different cases that we already done with our clients. So first of all, that case shows us that when on the one area working at different subcontractors, they don't understand that they are not comparing to each other. So by using the platform, comparing different type of information, we saw that subcontractor who are creating pumping station doesn't compare with the subcontractor who are creating the trench. So by comparing the information, we stop this construction and save the customer's budget, something like $250,000. Second case is the inventory case. Our client has asked us to do some inventory, and they received results 6 times faster with 10 times more accurate measurements. So month-end reporting was reduced by 40%, and it was much more useful. So the client was very happy and include our inventory system in his package. And the third case that is showing our possibilities, that when our client decide to review the variance between bookkeeping and the data sky platform, and the difference was on 75,000 tons of materials that is on the area, and the price of those materials was something like $425,000. So client decided to review business process. They did stockpile inventory management. So you see how useful could be information from there. A few words about our company. We are more than 13 years in the UAV sector. We are manufacturing drones. We are developing it and designing and manufacturing drones. We have our factory on more than 5,000 square meters in St. Petersburg. And we are also providing our equipment, we're providing our software that exporting more than 140 countries from the Japan to Hollywood. Many companies are using it. And also we are providing, of course, services, as we have a huge expertise in different types of areas. That could be surveying, that could be special surveying as aeromagnetic with quantum magnetometer, and that could be different type of the entertainment like show of drones. And of course, we are, as national champions, we also made a few world records. As I mentioned before, we've done the hugest drone show in the world on the September 2020. That was 2,198 drones in the same time in the skies of the St. Petersburg. We made hugest project with the creation the 3D model, and that was 25,000 square kilometers, one of the Russian district. And we made hugest aeromagnetic surveying for geologistic research on the 12,000 linear kilometers. So we have our records. We have the professional team who are working on, as I mentioned before, 5,000 square meters. That more than now, it's something like 500 employers in 15 different directions, working on developing, working on software, working on creation of UAV better and better in the different directions. And a few words about our clients. Of course, we are working with government sector for helping them to manage different types of the information. We made a huge numbers of the projects for the Russian government. Also, we are working with some of European countries, and we are always in Vietnam at the moment flying more than 10 our UAVs and helping them to monitoring country. That is the private sector. Next type of area where we're working with the hugest companies in the world, like top 3 oil, gas, and oil company, that Gazprom, Rosneft, and Saudi Aramco and the Gulf region. We're working with.
We're kind of time constrained, so if you could.
Okay, just an interval finalize. Okay. We are working in different sectors, as I mentioned. It could be entertainment or cinema and games also. And what we want to provide we want to get a new market, as our strategy is find a few pilot project POCs to demonstrate our possibilities, then become the operator in the region, and finally establish our representative, our R&D center in Malaysia. That is the point that we need to reach, and we are working on it, and we are welcome everybody to cooperate with us, and we will be happy to answer all your questions and be a partner, be a part of our collaborative business in Malaysia. So you're more than welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Oleg, for that presentation. Now to our next Russian drone company, we have Unmanned Systems Group. Representing Unmanned, we have Mr. Nikolai Manzenkov, the Head of International Affairs. Mr. Nikolai, welcome.
Yeah, hello. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Do you hear me now? Hello.
Yep, we can hear you.
Hi.
Sounds great.
Hello. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much, Isa, Karin, Nikita Vladimirovich. Also, thank you for this opportunity for all of us to make this conference call. So let me introduce myself and a little bit about our company. So Unmanned Systems Group is a certified producer and developer of multi-rotor and fixed-wing drones, commonly referred as unmanned air vehicle. Our production facilities and headquarters are located in the Russian city of Izhevsk. Izhevsk is the heart of Russia. The collective efforts in terms of aerial technologies developed by Unmanned Systems Group brings together the undisputed quality and outstanding performance for the global market of civil and military aviation industry. Our company has been on the forefront of the UAVs production and supply since 2006. Complexes with UAV Supercam have the best performance in its class with due regard for the operational, tactical, and technical parameters. Supercam solutions earned the consistent praise for superior performance while carrying assignments in the following application areas like the forest and water management, pipeline supervision and control, wildlife protection and environmental observation, mining and exploration, electric grids, simulation, localization and mapping, emergency response, agriculture and waste management, law enforcement, crime and terrorism.
Николай, я прошу прощения, презентации не видно никакой.
Да, у нас видео, к сожалению, я сейчас в дороге нахожусь, поэтому не могу так. Dear colleagues, sorry for interrupt. I want to explain that it will be the demo. It will be the video a little bit later after my presentation. Don't worry about this. During the video, you can check the parameters of our UAVs. You can check the different type of our UAVs, the Supercam S100, the Supercam S350, etc., etc., etc. So, if it will be some question for you, please, you are welcome. And please, Isa, switch on the video at this moment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, we will play your video presentation. Just give us a couple of minutes. We'll play it shortly.
Hah? Sudah?
Saya tadi lepas pasang pintu langsung pergi.
Indona.
Oh.
Apa? Dia mari dia tunggu. Yes. Dia mari dia tunggu dah. Baik. Mesti marah dah tadi. Dia ingat orang buat wajib.
Mr. Nikolai, are you there with us? Would you like to add on to that? Okay, I think, thank you, Mr. Nikolai. Thank you, Unmanned Systems Group, for that presentation. Now we will move to our next Russian drone company. We have Radar MMS. We have representing Radar, we have Mr. Sivayev Evgeny. He's the head of sales department. Welcome. Sorry, we can't hear you. Can you unmute?
Hello, everybody. Do you hear me?
Yes, much better. Thank you.
I'm sorry. First of all, I want to thank Russian Malaysia High Tech Center for the possibility to participate in this conference, and Nikita Ponomarenko for this community. Radar MMS was founded in 1950, and over 70 years history, it was thrice awarded to the graduate of the President of the Russian Federation. In addition to the main specific fields, we are a manufacturer of high precision homing systems. The company employs over 2,500 specialists. This is the main activities of the group of companies Radar MMS. And this is radar systems, active phased array, a set of tasks associated with the production of the end devices and software for the Internet of the Things. Also, this is the production of high-speed vessels based on dynamic principles of maintaining hydrofoil and aircraft-based complexes, robotic systems, hydrometeorological systems, and equipment. This is the unmanned aircraft systems designed by the company, are currently represented by the following types: rotary wings, UAV with takeoff weight of 37, 45, and 500 kilograms. Helicopters weighing 37 and 45 kilograms are produced in series. The helicopter with takeoff weight of 500 kilograms is under development. The expected commissioning period is 3 years. The weight of this helicopter payload reached 150 kilograms. This is some application for unmanned aircraft systems. As we see, this is monitoring, recognizing, search and rescue, cargo delivery, and communication tasks. You can see the appearance and basic performance of small helicopters. The maximum payload is 10 kilograms. The flight duration is up to 2 hours, and the cruising speed is about 55 kilometers per hour. All helicopters designed by our company use an internal combustion engine as a power plant. At the moment, we are focused on designing a rotary wing UAV only. These are promising unmanned aerial systems that we are currently developing. We see an interesting market in the delivery cargo here in Russia, weighing about 100 to 150 kilograms. For 2 years, we have been designing an autopilot for the helicopter, working towards the development of a digital mock-up that is completely identical to the helicopter and testing all possible models. Accordingly, now we have an autopilot of our own production, which allows us to perform flights in fully automatic mode, including takeoff and landing. Here you can see the payloads we have already integrated. I would like to mention the most interesting systems that we produced independently, including small size X-band radar. It has a low weight, 8 kilograms, and equipped with air cooling and permission for about 1.5 meters. In terms of standardized payload equipment, we integrate existing market solution for these systems as gas analyzing systems, multispectral optoelectronic systems in various configuration, radiation detectors, loudspeakers, spotlights, and drop device. Here are on the presented radar, you can get very good resolution up to 1.5 meters. It's an active phased array antenna, 8 kilograms mass, air cooled. Using this radar, we searched for the surface objects at the sea. This is an example. Another case on the use of drones is associated with geophysical exploration, as our partners Geoscan. We use a quantum metric system and 3-component magnetometer to compensate for the influence of the helicopter. intended for broadcasting voice messages with a sound pressure level at the distance from 1 meter to 143 dB. Available in 3 types: air-based, automotive, and portable. Broadcast of speech calls produced using airborne sound amplification equipment provides clear speech recognition from a distance up to 2,000 meters. This is gyro stabilized optoelectronic systems. We are used. This is not standard optoelectronic systems. Here you can see the specification. It can be variable. This is ground control station, can be made on the basis of vehicles of various cross-country ability, from minibuses to trucks. I would like to introduce the flight task preparation systems that allows you to automatically generate a flight route for an unmanned aircraft. In addition, it is possible to construct a special walk area terrain models, as well as change the display of the flight area airspace structure. An example is the unmanned aircraft system supplied by loudspeaker under the contract with the Russian Emercom. In the lower right part of the slide, there is a similar system for the Rosenergoatom structures in the Russian Federation. The payload equipment include a thermal imager, a high-resolution camera, a digital camera, a quantum magnetometer, a gas analyzer, and a laser methane detector. Another case that we have extensive experience in measuring the magnetic fields. We work with Gazpromneft. This is a multi-level magnetometric survey. The results obtained are present here on the slide. Another experience, magnetic exploration is in the north of Russia, is an illustration of the work currently being performed by Rosgeology. Here is our first experience, a project carried out in 2017 for the transportation of cargo in the north of Russia for Gazpromneft. And even then we determined that there is a need to transport large loads weighing up to 150 kilograms. I will briefly tell you about our experience in logistic projects. The cargo was delivered in fully independent mode with a weight of 7 kilograms. The tasks were solved and the field jointly with Gazpromneft. The next experience in logistic projects is represented by unmanned cash collection in the interest of Sberbank of Russia. In 2018, the pilot project was conducted in the city of Samara for transportation across the river. The route of motor transport lasted 3 hours, and the duration of the unmanned aircraft route was 12 minutes. On this, I will end my report. Any question, please? I want to hear some questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Afghani from Reda. We will take questions. We will take questions probably after all the presentations are completed. So moving on to our next Russian drone company, we have Copter Express. Please welcome Mr. Oleg Ponfilinok, the CEO of Copter Express. Mr. Oleg?
Yeah, hello everyone. Do you hear me clear?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, great. Yeah, thank you very much for both parties from Malaysia and Russia to let me introduce my company and our products. I very appreciate it. Okay, my name is Oleg Ponfilinok. I'm a CEO and founder of Copter Express. It's a Russian company, and we develop and manufacture open source quadcopters. All our drones, it's open source, and because it's open source, they very fits for educational purposes. Our main product is educational quadcopter Clover that we sell to customers in 20 countries, and we one of the leader of the market for educational drones. Let me show you a presentation. Okay, here's our Clover drone kit. Without separate elements, it's a kit with manuals and instruction for assemble. It's not only hardware, it's also all educational curriculum and materials, manuals, including video courses, manuals and internet, educational courses, and open source code and examples of open source code, and so on. It very fits for STEAM education because compare a lot of different parts, including math, physics, arts, engineering, technology, science, and so on. It fits for different skills, including in drone skills, such as assembling, soldering, design engineering, repair and diagnostics of UAVs, problem solving, and so on. Using these drone kits, we organize a lot of competitions and contests, including world skills. It's aerial robotics skills competition on world skills. Innopolis Open, IMAF, NT contest, and so on. Also, we organize international student contest, Copter Hug, and we have teams from 16 countries who participate in this contest. It's a yearly contest. We repeat it every year. And next contest will begin at 1st of June. Students from all over the world can make different projects. Any projects based on copter, based on quadcopters, but all projects should be open source, because all our platforms and copters are open source. So we also invite teams who perform some open source projects from all over the world. Here's a map with our communities from different countries, from 22 countries. We have different webinars and activities with our community members. We communicate in Telegram group, and you can see a lot of videos on YouTube in English. We also organize different webinars. We partner with a lot of schools and universities, colleges all over the world. And you are very welcome to join our community for be part of that. We also have some customers from Malaysia and also have partners in Malaysia, but we're open for to become more partners in this area as well. Yeah, thank you very much. And at the end, I will also add that we have other products also open source, the drone Pelican, who we use for delivery packages using drones. It's not only a drone, but it's a whole autonomous robotic system for aero logistics, including autonomous postmates and systems that load cargo, upload cargo, and swap batteries. And very interesting to also for start some pilot projects with real customers in Malaysia as well, and we're open for discuss it. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. I will be glad to answer your questions in the next part of this webinar.
Thank you, Mr. Oleg, and thank you all for all the presentations. So that completes our presentation session. While we're all here, I would like to ask everyone to turn on their video if possible, if we can have a group photo quickly, a virtual group photo. Do we have ready for the screenshot? Everyone turn on their cameras, please. Yes, we're all ready. Very good. Yeah. Okay. Give us 1 minute to set it all up. Keep smiling though, but I will let you know. I will prompt you all when we will capture the screenshot. Ready? Are we all ready? Okay, keep your videos on. Okay. All right, the count of 5. Yes? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, smile. Another one? Should we do another one? What's cheese in Russia, or smile in Russian? Can we get someone from Russia? What's smile in Russian? Okay, I can't say it, unfortunately. Oleg, I'll have to get you to prompt us. Count of 3 and tell everyone to smile.
Okay. We will smile all the time, okay?
Okay, all done. Thank you very much, guys, for that. So again, thank you to all our presenters today. I'm sure our audience have many questions and thoughts that they would like to share. Unfortunately, we are running a bit behind time, so we won't be having the breakout session, but do not worry. We understand that more follow-up dialogues and discussions are needed. So yes, this is what RMHCC is set up for. So we are committed to ensure that we do the follow-up one-on-one sessions. We will organize them as we promised. But for today, I will now open the floor up to our audience here for any questions or thoughts that they would like to share to our Russian companies. Anyone with a question? Anyone would like to start with a question?
There will be some kind of follow-up after this event with materials and the contacts.
I've got a question for Radar MMS. For your integrated kits on the UAV systems, are they sold as part of your UAV solution, or can they be purchased individually?
Sorry, Radar, can you unmute first? Thanks.
Could you repeat, please?
Yeah. So you've got some integrated payloads on your UAV solutions, like the PA systems, the magnetometer. So are they sold apart as part of your UAV solution, or can they be purchased separately to be integrated to our own UAVs?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can purchase such kind of solution separately.
Okay, thanks.
Dear colleagues, I also have a question to Wim Wahan from Iskandar region about test region in Iskandar.
Yeah, Farhan, are you there with us?
Yeah. Nice. So yeah, my question is about this test area for drones. Do you have some industrial partners who are interested to perform this test together with drone companies? For example, for logistic, do you have maybe companies like DHL or some post companies or something like this?
Yes. Hi.
Yeah,
I'm not sure who's asking. I can't see. But yes, at this point of time. At this point of time, do get in touch with us. So we do have corporations like DHL and others who are looking for technology partners who could provide drone delivery or logistics solutions at this point of time. And it's not just that. Will be other applications that you feel that you can provide, and it's something that Malaysia or ASEAN doesn't have yet, or it's not big yet. Then I would highly recommend that you get in touch with us to see how we can bring your technology to be tested and showcased in our DRZ Iskandar location.
Yeah, thank you very much. I will send you an email. Yeah, thank you.
And one more question about regulatory. What is regulatory tells us about drones below 250 grams? So what about permissions, registry, certification, etc.?
All right. That's for me, right? Okay, so for now, yes. In Malaysia, for registration and certification, only for drones above 20 kilograms will require Civil Aviation Authority application. All right, for the drones. So for drones below 250, at this point of time, a lot of the drone that is coming into Malaysia, they are only required to. So there is an entity called SIRIM who will check the telecommunication range. So that is the only requirement that it needs to check at this point of time. So usually for below 250, it is considered not for commercial. Mostly it will fall under the hobbyist category for below 250. But if you do have drones under 250 for commercial purposes, just ensure that it meets the telecommunication range requirement. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. And what about area where we can fly? Now, just to clarify, I talk about show of drones. And what kind of permission should we receive for realize such kind of the project? Because our show drones are below the 250 grams, and they have no payload, so they doesn't have cameras, etc. They just have only LED model.
Understood. So for show drones, because you usually you use Wi-Fi, right? and it's within a certain environment only. So usually for show drones, if it is within a closed area, so you do not need any permission from the Civil Aviation Authority at this point of time. However, if it is outside an open area, you will need to check if that area is a fly zone or no fly zone. And obviously you have to get the permission from the owner of the land. And if it is in a no-fly zone and the owner still requests you to do that operation there, then you will need to get approval from the Civil Aviation Authority as well as JUPAM. So JUPAM is a regulatory body that owns the space where if you have cameras on board your equipment and you are capturing image in that area, you need to have that permission as well. However, the main authority that you need to engage at this point of time would be the Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia. So they would be able to advise you what other requirements is needed for your operations. Does that answer your question?
Okay. Share with us contact of Civil Aviation if it's possible. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you.
So, but if you are planning to do commercialization in Malaysia, I would advise that you either get in touch with us or anyone in the industry that would help you to be able to operate in Malaysia easier.
Of course we do.
All right.
Of course, we are all here for commercialization. I think so.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we probably have time for one more question. We'll take one more question if there's any question.
Hello, sorry.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Izudin from Malaysian Palm Oil Board. I have a question for Mr. Wan Muhammad Farhan. About regarding currently we have our own drone for pesticide spraying, and I think for this pesticide spraying it has its own regulation now. So I want to know whether for government to government purpose, especially for we are spraying for the smallholders, is there any kelonggaran yang boleh diberikan?
Okay, so understood. So just to give context to the others who are listening in as well, especially for our counterparts from Russia. So palm oil plantation in Malaysia is really big. I think Malaysia and Indonesia produces the biggest producer of palm oil in the world. So a lot of the drones are currently being used for the operations of drone spraying in this sector. So even if which is why the Civil Aviation Authority recently came up with a special framework for the operation of agriculture for UAS. So at this point of time, everyone is required to ensure that you comply to the regulatory requirements. However, obviously, since it is still quite new, and I think you will need some time for you to be able to comply to all those new requirements by the regulators. So we were informed. I think at this point of time, obviously, if you ask the regulators, there's no such thing as leeway in regulation. But at this point of time, I think from the end user side, I think you can still operate, get advice from your operators to see what are the requirements that is stated in the Civil Aviation Directive. Try to see if you can meet those requirements, even if you don't apply for the permit at this point of time, you can still operate. Okay. So, but operate it within the limits that is given in the Civil Aviation Directive. I'm not. I can't say that you can operate without permit here. Okay. Obviously, as we need to ensure that everyone abide by the rule.
Okay.
So that's the basic rule at this point of time. However, to apply for the permits within the next 12 to 24 months, I think that is something that we are still building internally, even in the Civil Aviation Authority themselves. So you go through the Civil Aviation Directive, try to comply. So if the Civil Aviation Authority goes to your area, make sure that you met all those requirements.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I think Ishar, did you have a question?
Sorry. Can you hear?
Yes.
All right. Sorry, I'm just unmute. Okay, I have question to Radha MMS. Okay. Privet Dobro Jutra. Now is Dobro Večer in Malaysia. Okay.
Yeah. Good evening.
Yes. I just want to know what is the frequency range that you use for your drone? Since I noticed that you have a long range drone, what are the frequency range that you use?
Okay, just a moment. Frequency, you mean what? Periodicity, what frequency?
The operation frequency to control your drone. 2.4 gigahertz or what? I don't know. 5.6 gigahertz. It's very important for us to know because there's a regulation here in Malaysia we have to follow.
Okay, yes. We have two frequencies, yes. One frequency just is connected with the command line. And it's just 900 megahertz. Yes, and one more, it's information line, control line, information control line. It's just about 2,400 megahertz. Yes, two ones. Yes, two frequencies. Yes, they are involved in the control of our UAS.
Okay,
we use them, yes, for the control and for the operation.
Okay, good.
Okay, yeah, thank you for your question. Thank you.
Thank you. Spasiba.
Great Russian there, Ishar. Better than mine. So I think that's all the questions that we have time for questions today. For our next session, we do I would like to invite MDEC here with us. MDEC, Malaysia's Digital Economy Corporation, is the agency under the Ministry of Communications and Multimedia Malaysia. So I would like to invite Serena. Serena, are you here with us?
Hi, this is Serena here.
Hi, Serena. Firstly, thank you for joining us today. We have invited MDEC here with us to help answer some questions that we often get in regards to international B2B. I'm sure all of us here have some thoughts on where do we go on from here? How can Malaysian companies get the support that they need in regards to international B2B? So the first question is, can you take us through an example that's relatable to this webinar, where MDEC played a role to facilitate international B2B, and what role did MDEC play?
Okay, so maybe I'll just give a quick update about, it's a quick information about what MDEC. So we are a government agency that looks into leading the digital economy in Malaysia. So we have several things. We have tax incentives going on, and then we also have a visa program like Malaysia Tech Entrepreneur Visa. So for those of you who are interested to come over here, you can apply for that visa, which is a residence pass, so that you can access the country easily while you are here. And also on top of that, so once that you are based in Malaysia, so we have programs that that facilitate for you to be in here. So we have programs such as business matching in specific countries that a lot of Malaysian companies participated in as well. So if you are based here, you can participate in that as well. So we'll help you go into, we have business matching and programs for other countries in the region, Southeast Asia, East Asia. So we see that Malaysia to be your launch pad. From here, you can penetrate into other countries in Southeast Asia. So other than that, we also have programs programs such as mentoring session for all the countries in Malaysia as well, and also workshops and anything that you need to know about the neighboring country for market access.
Could you tell us a little bit about if there's any government funding going on at the moment for, particularly for international B2B?
Unfortunately, for government grants, there will be no government grants for foreign-owned entity. But for Malaysian company, but I think this is only applicable if you have at least 60% Malaysian owned. So for that, we have another agency called Matrade. They do provide market development grant, and then for companies that are looking outside of Malaysia once they are here, but that will be that is only for at least a 60% Malaysian owned. For 100% foreign owned, unfortunately, I don't think there's any grant assistance right now that I'm aware of.
Serena, I think I will let the audience, if they have any questions for you, Serena.
Sure.
Yeah. Any questions for Serena from MDEC? Okay, I think is there a question?
Yeah, I actually have a question for COEX just now, and probably related to MDEC as well.
Okay.
Because I like to know what COEX is doing, what sort of collaboration that they are doing with universities, and probably how can this be promoted by MDEC and accepted by the local universities in Malaysia.
Yes, thank you for your question. We work with universities. Some universities, technical universities, have something like robotics laboratories or especially drone laboratories, and we do work close with them. We provide equipment and invite students for our competitions and contests for Copter Hack, and work together with the students team for helping them with their projects, some supervising and so on.
If you let me a few words, I could say that we also working with the universities. We also have some educational kids. So my opinion is will be very good experience to realize some kind of collaboration of the educational kids and create some competition in Malaysia based on Russian solutions with the MDEC maybe and the few universities, and show our possibilities and our opportunities for the education sector. How do you look at this?
COEX, Serena, COEX, and Serena, do you guys want to add on?
Yeah, so can you come again, like what is specifically MDEC? Your question?
Regarding the MDEC, we want to understand how we can collaborate our educational solution, JOSCAN, COEX, and your universities in Malaysia, and how can MDEC help us to promote our solution to educational sector. My opinion was to organize some kind of competition based on our maybe even world skills competitions. Based on that, we can do the competition in Malaysia and show our solutions, show our possibilities with robotic laboratories, with many kinds of technologies, some use cases, etc.
Yeah, we also have a division that looks into talent. So this talent division, they work closely with the universities and even like school children. And every year they actually have this My Digital Maker, which is like a large conference targeting all these students and students that I think can take opportunity of that and participate in the conference. Given the COVID situation right now, I think last year it is a webinar style, of course. But I think moving forward is a grand scale, right? So they will do it one whole week in KLCC area. So it's a rather grand scale of conference which you can take advantage of to promote your solutions and then and then to connect with these universities as well.
Maybe just to add to that, I think every year the Malaysian team actually is involved in the World Skills competition. It is something very. The school students in Malaysia are quite involved. However, I think from the company side, they are not too much support yet at this point of time. So I think this is something that we can definitely improve upon.
Yes, I also want to let you know that this summer will be World Skills Asia online competition 2021, and aero robotics skill competitions will also there. And Malaysian team are very welcome for participating in this World Skills Asia competition.
Looking forward to that, supported by MDEC.
Now that,
welcome us, welcome all of us.
Okay, I think that's all the time that we have for that session. I would just like to get the participants, the audience, some of your thoughts. We're going to run a poll. It'll pop up on your screen. We just wanted to get a bit of an insight about how you thought this webinar went. And did you guys achieve your goals, and whether or not you like to see some of this webinar going forward as well. So the poll question will pop up on your screen. If you can answer that poll question.
Isa?
Yeah.
If I can say something, I think there's a lot of companies in Malaysia in this group today. I think who would like to get in touch directly with some of the companies. So I think maybe there's something that our MHTC can assist us in connecting with them in later sessions.
Thanks, Farhan. Yes, definitely. We will definitely follow up through with all the contacts that we have. So ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the end of our event. I'd like to now welcome Mr. Nikita Ponomarenko, the head of Russia Trade Representative in Malaysia, for the closing remarks. Nikita, please welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, colleagues. Thank you very much to Russian-Malaysia High Technology Center, to Dr. Lu, to Ms. Karina, to Iska for moderating this event. I would like also to thank DRZ Iskandar and MDEC for really the presentation and some information about drone system development in Malaysia. I would like to thank Russian companies which participated in this event, and I would like to emphasize that that is the very first event which was organized by Russian-Malaysia High Technology Center, and we hope that that would be the first one, and there would be a series of this kind of events in future. I would like to mention that aerospace industry is one of the key industry of development within Russian-Malaysian Intergovernmental Commission, which is co-chaired on a very high level from Malaysian side from Dr. Sri Yasmin Ali, who is a senior minister in the government of Malaysia, and Russian Deputy Prime Minister Mr. Yuri Borisov, who is also responsible for industry development in Russia. We hope that there would be results of this event, and we from the governmental level, from the level of trade representation, of course, we will support all the initiatives. Please rely on us, and if the support is needed, you can easily reach us, and we will do this. Also, I would like to mention that Karina, when she made the presentation within this webinar, she mentioned that Russian-Malaysian High Technology Center invites Russian company to be part of the center, and we are also from our trade representation office, we welcoming Russian companies to join in, because it is very important to have representative in Malaysia if we are going to work on this market. It is very important for different reasons, and I will stay long right now for what reasons it is needed, but really that is a very great opportunity, and we are interested in recruiting companies to be part of Russian Malaysia High Technology Center in future. I would like also mention that Ministry of International Trade and Industry of Malaysia, together with Ministry of Trade and Industry of Russian Federation, we are now preparing a working group on industry. So this working group we will have 7 round tables within this working group, and one of the round tables will be devoted to airspace also. So we invite from Russian side, we invite Russian Aviation Authority, which is similar to CAM in Malaysia. We invite ministries which somehow Transport Ministry to participate in this, and we invite companies, also Russian companies and Malaysian companies, to participate in this event. Within this event, we would like to emphasize all the rules, both from Russian side and from Malaysian side, to work with drones, to work with airspace industry, and so on. That would be that event will be at the end of the April, the beginning of the May, and of course we invite Russian Malaysian High Technology Center to participate in this round table and again to introduce the activity of the center and to do some speech within this event. So again, thank you very much for organizing this, and we wish everyone to develop. We wish Malaysian companies and Russian companies to develop cooperation, and we hope to see Russian companies and Russian solutions here in Malaysia very soon, because now it is possible to come for business purposes in Malaysia, and we invite them from our side. We also support the real demonstrations of technological Russian companies here in Malaysia. So thank you very much, and all the best to all of you, and thanks for participation in this great webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nikita. So thank you all for joining us today, and especially to our distinguished speakers. Thank you for the presentations. And as Farhan said, we will be connecting with you all. And as we promised, we will also be following up with our one-to-one sessions. So it is definitely not goodbye. We look forward to seeing you all again. If you like more information on RMHTC and Russian drone companies, our contact details are just in the chat box. So do get in touch with us, and we will be sure to be connecting with you all. And so thank you again. We hope you enjoyed the webinar. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Baka.